Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Basically today I was gonna talk about my other front yard garden, but my brother pointed out from my last video, he's like, hey, you know, you showed a bunch of leaves and some sticks and you're telling us it's sedum, but we don't know exactly what that's gonna look like, so why don't you just wait until things grow in. So making a hedge video. Anyway, wanted to talk about density, right? Hedge density, height, and so on. So here, I'm at a location, we got some green giants, and here's the green giants. Amazing looking, they're super nice looking, at least I think so. And then they planted stuff in front, which are perennial, so they look like hydrangeas. So they're kind of dead for the winter, but they'll come back in the summer and look amazing. But what I wanted to talk about was like, so it's basically hiding this building behind us, or behind them, and they're pretty tall. And I think, personal preference, I mean, I like the way they look with that like Christmas tree triangular shape. But what I'm thinking is, at least from my property, once I hit a certain height, like 10 feet, 12 feet, 14 feet, I don't know, I want to cut the tops off and then let them dense out more. So if you look at them carefully enough, it's kind of hard to catch on camera, but if you look at them carefully, you could start kind of seeing through them a little bit because they're getting wider, the branches are branching out more and more. So by cutting the top, it's going to reduce the growth on the top, obviously, because you'll top them, but it'll make the bottoms more dense. Now, I'm thinking, if I had to guess, this is probably a 15-foot building behind it, so these are at least 20-foot trees, right? So, you know, for me, I mean, that's pretty high. This is pretty dense. I don't know if I could get someone, or if I could do it myself, to be able to trim or hedge, prune trees this tall. So I don't know if I'll let mine get that big, but yeah. So actually, I think I'm gonna do a couple of drive-bys and take a look at a couple of other hedges. I've seen some really nice ones. So let's start with that. But yeah, so check these out. Amazing looking, really tall. And you know what's crazy? I think a couple of years ago I saw them and they were literally not even near the top, and now they are way past the top. But yeah, let's pause this video, drive around, look at some other hedges, and then yeah, I guess we'll have a conclusion at that. Thanks. Alright, so check out this hedge. It's a broadleaf hedge. Not sure what it is, but I'm looking at it and it's about 10 feet tall, and you really can't see what is behind there. I mean, obviously you can see the peak of a house as I walk across the street. So if I was trying to use this kind of hedge to block out my property, it's really well trimmed. It looks like it could even get taller, but doesn't need to get taller. 8 feet, and it's literally blocking out anything the person's gonna see. So again, my house, I have the 6-foot fence, and you know, if I have an 8-foot hedge, or this is 9 foot, maybe not more than that. So if I do 12 feet, even though I'm on a hill, you really can't see what's going on in my backyard. I don't know why I'm obsessed with trying to get a super dense hedge where it completely blocks everything out. But yeah, this is pretty amazing. Broadleaf evergreen, red berries, and probably 9 feet, but doing an excellent job blocking stuff out. I do think it has to be pruned to get that dense, but again, don't even know what the plan is. All right, let me get to the next location. All right, so here we got some emerald green arborvitaes, and these are good, super dense. I guess you got to prune them. They do take that pyramid shape, but with that pyramid shape, you know, obviously you can see right through, and you can see the house and stuff. They did plant 2 rows, but still, I mean, trying to look through it won't happen, but you got to get rid of that gap in between, and I think the only way you're going to be able to do that is widening them up by topping them. But I mean, they look nice, but I think I would want more privacy in my own personal yard. All right, next, let's move on to the next one. So I'm across the street from these emerald green arborvitaes. Again, you could see the gaps, right? They're like little triangular gaps, but these are pretty tall. If I had to guess, they're probably 10 or 12 feet tall. They're very dense, very dense. So some conclusions that I'm coming up with based on observation, right? I didn't Google it. It's not a Wikipedia regurgitation or anything like that. This is just pure observation, and I'm not a botanist, so you know, do your own research and take anything I say with a grain of salt. But here's what I'm finding. These trees are amazing. All these hedge trees are amazing. They get really tall. Once they get really tall, they start to thin out. Maybe because there's not enough light going to the inside branches. I don't know the deal, but they start to thin out. So if you don't want them to thin out, you gotta start pruning them. So look at these green, emerald greens, beautiful, nice, super dense, and you can tell the tops have been topped off and they're starting to prune. I bet you in a couple of years, these little gaps that you see in between the trees are gonna disappear. They'll grow into each other and it'll be dense. So I guess the secret to dense, the secret to dense, maybe that's what I'll name the video. The secret to dense privacy hedge is pruning. Just gotta top them, keep them compact, prune them really good. I don't know if that's a secret or just an observation I just made, but yeah. And there's a couple more hedges pretty close, so I'm gonna walk over and show you those. There's white, I think they're white pine trees, and then the other ones are more green giants. And then there's a couple of hedges by my house that look really amazing as well, so I'm going to try to hit those up too. All right, so let me put this on pause. All right, guys, so this is white pine trees, and they look pretty dense, I gotta say. But you know what's interesting? If we keep walking and we look behind these white pine trees, there's some more white pine trees, and this is what white pine trees naturally look like. You can see through them. They're really nice, don't get me wrong, but you could definitely see through them. But if you look at these guys, yeah, see, here's a great example. A lot of shade. They're thinning out on the back. So you know, you want a nice hedge, definitely get a good amount of light on the hedge. And I guess the best way to do it is definitely a lot of pruning, keep them compact, and then you know, more light gets to them, leaving them denser, greener, and nicer looking. All right, let's just take a quick look at green giants they got going on, and then we'll head back towards my place and there's like, I think it's called a it's another type of hedge. I'll have to figure it out when I get there, and I'll show it to you. All right, let me pause this, check out the green giants, and we'll move on. So I walked over where the green giants are. They made these cool triangular shapes. They're pretty awesome looking, super dense. I mean, like really compact. So I'm looking at these, I'm thinking, you know, as they get wider than, I don't know, 6 feet here, they really start to get less dense. So yeah, pruning. Secret to a really compact, dense hedge has got to be pruning. Prune it, keep it compact, don't let it get too big, and you know, you'll end up with the best privacy hedge. At least I feel you'll end up with the best privacy hedge you could. All right, it's freezing. Let me go head back and see if I can find you another hedge or two, and then I'll get back to my property and we'll wrap this up. Thank you. So here's an example of Leland cypress hedge, and I don't know, maybe their pruning is just bad, but they they're not doing it for me. You could see right through them. I heard they get some wind burn too. They're a nice tree, you know. It's just, I guess they gotta prune them better, but they are very light dependent. So if you look at the one in the end, it probably gets the most amount of light, giving it the most dense, compact look compared to the rest of them, where over here they're definitely getting a lot less light. Even right now, it's middle of the day, it's kind of shady. You can see all their branches kind of thinning out. All right, let's get to the last hedge. Thanks. All right, so we're at the final hedge. Finally remember the name. It's a hemlock hedge, right? And I'm pretty sure it's hemlock. Check it out, it is huge. So it starts there. It's super nice, has that weird angle cut to it. So obviously they pruned this thing, and it goes all the way to the end. Really dense, really thick. It's only about, if I had to guess, I would say it's 12 feet. And I'm liking this number more and more, the 12-foot hedge. I cannot see the house. Like, I could see the top, the very rooftop. I'm across the street. If I was on the other side, obviously I wouldn't be able to see anything. So basically, a street length distance, I could basically see the top of the house. So I think they got a perfect height here, and it's nicely designed. They did the angle cuts and stuff. So I think in my own personal house, I'm gonna try to do probably like 14 feet. That's gonna be my hedge, at least in the front. Maybe in the back I'll do 16 feet because I'm on a slope, so I won't be able to see past the hedge, but people behind that's on top of the hill will be able to look down into the property. So, and again, I want a nice dense privacy hedge where you cannot see anything. All right, let me shoot to my house. I'll kind of try to explain what I'm talking about, and we'll wrap this up. All right, so back at the yard. I'm at the front yard. I'm across the street, right? So there's a couple of my green giants, and they're about 9.5, 10 feet. So if I had 12 feet, so you see the peak on the right hand side, the lower peak, that is 14 feet. So I'm thinking if I could get my green giants 14 feet tall, that peak basically hides out the house in the back. And as you can tell, I'm on that hill. So I'll shoot to the backyard and give you another idea why I think in the backyard I want to do a higher hedge, maybe 16 feet. And then yeah, I'll show you what's going on back there. So let me just pause this and run back there. So we're in the backyard. I'm basically standing by my deck on the bottom of the hill, right? So as we go up the hill, you can see less and less of the house behind. So actually, let's take a step back real quick. The camera's not going to pick it up. There's these little runners on top of the green hedge, which is, if you look back there, there's a little blue umbrella that's rolled up, or they're basically going to the bottom of their roof, right? Those runners. And right now, from here, these green giants are about 9.5, 10 feet tall, right? So I'm thinking if they were 16 feet tall, we would not see that house. I just want a nice green backdrop. The other thing is they would not see in the yard either. Yeah, so let's go up this hill. And as you see, as we get closer, you know, obviously we can't see anything. So it's really I guess the view that we're trying to go with, right? Like, we really want to have a nice green dense backdrop to our plants, right? So basically these little thin runners, you can probably see it now, are from the bottom of the hill, are where the bottom of the neighbor's roof, right? So basically, if they could get 16 feet tall, like if these things they're about 10 right now. They might have grown in the winter, I'm not really sure. But if I could get them to 16 feet tall, start hedging them, use a ladder, use a long pole, and start hedging them, they will definitely do the job, right? I did like the pyramid shape, but again, I think compactness is more my goal. And they're really nice right now. And what I need them to do is like fill in so this gap kind of goes away, which probably next year up to this point, which is about 4 feet, will probably be a wall, and then I'll have a gap in the middle. So by trimming or topping it off, I should have a nice, so all the energy goes into growing the limbs across, and then you know, it'll grow into each other and a solid wall quicker. So I do want to top them off. I do think I want to wait till they're about 16 feet. Man, this thing definitely grew. But I'll do an update in April. We'll see how much they grew in the last couple of months, or last 4 months, and then yeah, we'll go from there. All right. Yeah, the other thing is, I think, so I planted them 5 feet from my fence line. So here's my fence. These are about 5 feet away. So I'm thinking, as long as they stay about 6 to 8 feet, I wouldn't get them any wider than 6 to 8 feet, or, you know, so like where that hummingbird feeder is, or that tray is, they shouldn't go any wider than that. At that point, they will be super dense. Anything wider, I think they'll thin out. So back to the hedge theory, again, just my observation, not a botanist. You know, 16 feet in the back, 14 feet in the front, not more than 6 feet wide, 6 to 8 feet wide. Regular shearing and pruning of these guys. And you know what's great is, like, when you prune them, if you want, you could just make new trees out of them. I don't think I would need any more trees, but you know, if anyone needs them, let me know. I'll definitely clip and try to propagate you some. One of the comments I got from my last video, they said to take a look at sapphire cedar, I think it was, or an Arizona sapphire or Arizona cedar. And you know, I googled it. I can't find it around here, but I heard they do good in zone 7 and up, and I'm zone 7A, and these do good zone 5. So, you know, occasionally you get that super cold frost. I don't know if it would damage those trees or not. I also heard they do better in dry conditions, while these do better in wet conditions. So when I did the compare between the green giants and the sapphire cedars, I think for me, 7A might be the green giants might be a better choice. But looking at those trees, they looked pretty awesome. I might just like trees, but yeah, I mean, I guess if you're in the market, check those out as well. All right, I hope this video helps. If you like the video, you know, give me a like. It helps the channel. I've been getting substantial amounts of growth, so I appreciate a substantial amount of growth in my YouTube channel. So I appreciate everyone's support. And you know, if you want, please subscribe, and then we'll build a community together and go from there. All right, thank you.